That's blasphemous to say.
The reason why it's not blasphemous is, and of the last, everything since Scorpion, even More Life. Like Drake makes pop music. Drake's not really saying anything with his music. Like I agree with Joe Budden. Like my dude, you're 30 and you making like music for teenagers. You making pop music for teenagers. You just not saying shit.
And that shit goes number one. So what?
Okay, but people want to hear the Kendricks. People want to hear the J. Coles. They want to hear it.
And them niggas go number one too.
And they go number one actually talking about some shit.
But Drake has gone number one more than pretty much everybody. And you know he's going to break the record. So it's kind of the same, like this, the exact same thing we talked about last time. It's like if LeBron James has all the fucking records, and yeah, Michael Jordan existed, but like this nigga beat all of the records that he had. So are we going to say he's the best yet? Or are y'all just really going to clamor on to the same old argument that, oh, he don't be talking shit, or, oh, he don't have bars like that, oh, he has ghost writers. How long are we going to hold on to those arguments? Those are stale and washed up.
Man. I'm just saying, like, numbers alone, he's the greatest rapper of all time. Nobody's saying that he's not. Nobody's taking away from his accomplishments. I'm just saying.
This man tied Michael Jackson for most number one songs
this is what I'm trying to say. Like,
of all time.
Mickey D's is probably one of the most successful restaurants. We're not talking about fast food. One of the most successful restaurants of all time. Billions on billions served. But it ain't Lawry's. It ain't Fogo. Like this, you understand the comparison I'm trying to make? Like I'm sure McDonald's commercially is way more successful than Lawry's and Fogo, every Michelin star restaurant in existence. But it's Mickey D's. Like, do you get the...
And that shit goes. That shit smacks.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But it's Mickey D's.
Every neighborhood. I don't see Lawry's in every neighborhood, but I see a McDonald's in every neighborhood.
Because they're putting out quality. They don't have to franchise like that. They got like... Lawry's has like 3 or 4 restaurants. Now, Fogo has a lot of restaurants. And I feel like the quality varies, right? That's probably more like a J. Cole. Like, he puts out a lot of music in. Most of it is good. Some of it's hit and miss. But Drake just putting out fast food, Mickey D's burgers, and McChickens.
And got millions and billions of people listening to the album every single time it drops. Because I've heard people, I think you said this argument when we were talking about this before we started recording, that it's different for people to, or it's kind of like a criticism, or maybe not a criticism, but like Drake has it easier now because it's the streaming era versus Michael Jackson, who, in order for him to get his plays, it was a physical record spin.
Yeah.
It was a physical purchase. In order for him to go platinum, you have to literally have 1 million people walk into a store and purchase an item.
Yeah, man.
In order for Drake to go platinum, somebody can sit in their fucking garage or their living room and just have the shit on loop, and he can get fucking 1,000 plays just from one nigga just putting the shit on loop on streaming. And I don't think that there's a difference though.
But like, this is my thing though. For one, people were probably lining up to get Michael Jackson vinyls around the goddamn corner at record stores and whatever. I don't know what if it was mom and pop, or I don't know if there was a big chain.
Same with Drake though. Same with Drake. People are literally waiting every single week. How long were we talking about For All the Dogs? How long? How many weeks were we talking about and just anticipating that album dropping?
It was a lot.
It's the same thing.
People were... A lot of it was controversy and roasting. His son dropped it.
It makes my point even better. Somebody who hates Drake, loathes Drake, is still fucking talking about the album for weeks and weeks and weeks on end during the rollout. The album cover comes out, oh my God, it's shit. Yet you're still in the middle of the conversation. The single drops, oh my God, it's shit. Yet you're still in the conversation. You're still circulating all of the Drake media. It's the same exact thing. I think that it's actually harder for people to catch the attention of a 24-hour, maybe a 12-hour news cycle today than it is for Michael Jackson. Ain't shit going on. You don't have social media. What the fuck else is there to talk about other than the biggest pop star in the fucking world? Everybody's gonna buy that fucking album. I don't know who the fuck all these random people are, but now I have access to all these fucking artists and stuff like that. How do I even select on streaming platforms? How do I even select the best artists? There's so many people.
A lot of algorithms, because anybody can upload to Spotify now. Anybody can upload.
That's another thing.
I have a cousin who uploads
the algorithm
to
back then. What was the algorithm? It's just like whoever is the top media, whatever. It's the source. It's Vibe. It's well, you know, whatever. New York Post, or I don't even fucking know any hip hop, because that's not our generation. We use Twitter now. You know what I mean? But like that was the media cycle. Like that's the algorithm. Now everybody has their own specific algorithm. So for everybody to still every single time Drake is about to drop say, I'm going to make sure that I'm listening to this, that is a feat that I don't think that a lot of other artists from the past would be able to accomplish.
It's a good point. I mean, I can't argue that. I just the way, and that's fair, right? We're in a different era. So if you want to try to merge the two eras, he is kind of the Michael Jackson of this era. But some people say how the mighty,
that's a good way.
How
to
the
say
mighty
it.
And how the music has fallen. That this man is being compared to a GOAT, but it's different eras. It's like we're in the 3-point shooter era. What if there was a 4-point shooter era, and all these 4-point shooters in basketball show up, and like 10 years later, they're breaking LeBron's all-time global points record with ease, and people will say, well, everybody knows how to shoot better. Fours. So of course, it's going to take,
which means that they're better.
Of course, it's going to take half the time to get to break the record to the point where it means nothing now. How are you going to compare that to somebody who just sold 12 million hard copies? And we're still seeing this in this modern era, because I can promise you, even though Drake has more sales than Kendrick, I can promise you in terms of physical sales, he's selling more than Drake. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't know the stats on it, but it's possible.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You want to go to Jada and Will?
Let's move to Jada and Will. So we're a little late on this one, but we
not at all. She's still going off.
Really?
I think she's on a book run.
She's on a book run. She is on a book run.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those who we're not really caught up on the whole Jada and Will situation. She recently came out recently and said that her and Will have been separated for 7 years. And that opens up a whole can of worms, because first off, why is everybody making all this big a deal about entanglements? Nigga, fuck an entanglement. We're not even together.
Who's everybody?
The internet. When the entanglement shit went down, everybody and mama and Will and Jada and family and themselves was making a big deal about it. When she was disrespecting him about Tupac, and he was sad about it. I'm like, nigga, what are you sad for? Y'all have been divorcing everything but paper for 7 years. But
he loves that woman. That's the reason why.
You Will Smith, you the Fresh Prince, and you've been taking this low. I don't know, man. I think it's just cheaper to keep her. That man is definitely worth like $300-400 million. He would get divorced. I really believe Jada would get in his ass. Do you think it's a cheaper to keep her kind of situation? Because
no, I think he truly actually loves her. Which I know in this toxic ass generation, of younger people, it's hard for us to actually imagine what that looks like, because we're just fucking hoes out here now. But I think he genuinely loves her. Everything that he's ever done, and when he speaks about her, I've never heard him say, maybe she does, but I've never heard him personally say anything negative about her for the most part.
I definitely have. I know he wrote a book. I'm not sure if he really dogged her in a book or not, but he had a book a few years ago. A lot of people didn't read. I watched a video about it, and it was very vulnerable.
I saw that sneak diss. I heard that.
It wasn't an intentional sneak diss. I just feel like people will read a Jada book because it's gonna be fuckery. People in our generation,
because it's toxic.
Love
it's toxicity.
Toxic, especially like these TikTok beefs where people say some racist stuff and then just like stitch after stitch after stitch after stitch. People love that shit. So I don't think anybody would really read a Will book, but they would love a Jada book, like a Jada book or like a Brittany Renner book. People eat that shit up. But I just think she's been dogging him for so many years. Like, how do you love somebody who's basically worshiping a dead man she had a fling with, and she's worshiping this man and writing poems to him, talking about how he proposed to her in jail. First off, jail niggas will say anything. That dude probably was looking for somebody to hold him down. Soon as he knew he was getting out in like a week, he was already calling some other chicks. But that's some real shit. Like, that's just like I've never been in jail. God forbid. There's the only way I'd probably go.
But you've had a penis before.
If it was like a draft or some craziness, we're not gonna get into that. But like, my thinking is like, you in there and you dodging booty warriors and you dodging
exactly
like ASAP Rocky.
Everybody got sexual desires. And
ASAP Rocky said he was dodging punches and slipping on semen and shit.
Slipping on semen.
Like, hell no. Of course he's gonna be trying to find something to hold you down over the phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or
But I mean, when you think about it though, like, I really do genuinely believe that Will Smith will never let that woman go. I think he genuinely like found the person that he thinks he's supposed to be with. and hold down for his entire life. The the most negative thing that he's ever done in the public's eyes towards Jada, and maybe there's some shit because she's digging up the dirt now, right? She's exposing that nigga about like when she found out she was pregnant, how he reacted. She's putting out the dirt, but in the public's eye, the most negative thing he's ever done was tell Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth and slap that nigga. Which is like, in some people's eyes, that's protection.
But dude, like, it's just big. It's just too much. Like, I just feel like it's way deeper than this. I ain't gonna get into some of the real crazy conspiracy theories, but I just refuse to believe that this dude, she has something over this man. I don't know what it is, but like, you can't. I don't know any man, even the biggest simp on the planet, is not gonna get dogged this badly. I just don't believe it. I don't care. I just don't believe the biggest simp on the planet is going to get dogged this badly. Dude, she
is my passion.
But that's literally what it means. Well, that's the internet man. But yeah, like she's literally going around saying that. I remember she said and this is like a few years ago, that she didn't want to marry him. Her family and her mom made her marry him because that's a good option. I mean, he's Will Smith. He was up and coming, like that man, and that was a good decision. It was more like a financial, like more traditional marriage than it was out of like some real love. She didn't care about that, man. She probably been messing with other niggas for a long time. I
think this is the case in every single relationship that's ever been, is that someone's always going to like or love somebody a little bit more or a lot bit more than the other person. I think that's just what it is. Obviously, Jada does not give a fuck about Will as much as Will gives a fuck about Jada.
Clearly.
That's very obvious. Yeah, that's very clear. It's very clear. But that's the woman he wants to be with. And Jada, I don't know what her thing is. I don't know why she's still with the nigga. I mean, they said they were separated, but I don't even know why she's still showing up with the nigga. But I mean, I guess clout.
She has absolutely zero clout without that man.
Possibly.
She hasn't had. Only little bit of clout she had is when in Menace to Society and a couple movies after that. After that, it was just Will's girlfriend and Will's wife. That's it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's
DJ Envy.
Let's move on to DJ Envy, man. You
know a little bit more about this one. You want to intro this one?
Speaking of Fugazi shit. So yeah, for people who don't know who DJ Envy is, he's a co-host on a radio show called The Breakfast Club. It's really OG. It's very popular.
You might have heard of it.
I'm just, we got people who, we have some older listeners who probably have never heard of The Breakfast Club.
That is true.
So look them up. They're a radio show. They also post their shows on YouTube. And Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, who we're about to talk about now.
What are you clicking?
I'm clicking something.
Oh, it sounds. Yeah, here's something like clicking.
I think it's his water. Sorry. I think it's his water bottle.
Sorry to cut your flow.
No, you good. Yeah. So yeah. And Angela Yee, but she recently left the Breakfast Club. I'm not sure who replaced her, if they have a new replacement. But anyway, so DJ Envy, he's always been like a real estate guy. Like on the show, he gets on the show, and he's always talking about all the construction projects and real estate renovations and tear downs and
running around with Earn Your Leisure.
Running around with Earn Your Leisure. That's another really
big
black investment. They're probably the biggest black investment.
I do not like the way you said black just now.
Huh?
Why'd you say it like that? You said black.
Oh shit.
Negro. Why'd you say it like that?
Negro Friedman.
Negro. Yeah.
Or Negro investment channel. They're like one of the biggest on YouTube. Investment channel. I think they're like really big in like Apple Business. I'm pretty sure they're one of the biggest shows. They have conferences. But back to DJ Envy, and he's been charged. But him and his wife have been charged, and one of his business partners have been charged with over 22 lawsuits for embezzling and stealing people's money, because he would promise his audience to say, hey, invest in me, I'll get you a 20% return, and he would take this money and spend it on his own investments, paying back other creditors and debtors after him, and people, the law is on his ass now. They raided. I'm pretty sure. I think I heard that they raided the Breakfast Club headquarters trying to find.
They're saying that. I mean, it's a little he say she say with that one. I think that's an alleged. Let's put an alleged on that one.
I thought that was confirmed, but that's alleged. And my only thing about this is when are people going to learn investing in these like on the fringe C-level celebrities? I don't think it ever really ends well. Like, when's the last time you heard of when's the last time you heard of that being a good idea? Would you give your money to a celebrity, a random C-level celebrity, and he says he's going to give you?
Well, that's what people do. If it's a proven concept, if there's proof of concept, I'm liable to do that shit. But that's what investing is, though. It's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk.
I mean, you got to know who you've invested with, though. DJ Envy said that this nigga. Do we say his name? Can we say the business partner's name? It's okay, right?
Yes.
Caesar. Yeah, you said it already. Yeah, they said that Caesar. He learned how to fucking invest in real estate in fucking jail. I'm not saying like because we know Malcolm X, like you know, he learned his shit and stuff in jail, but you know, I think Mike Tyson did a lot of growth in jail. Like people do, you know, they grow as people, as individuals in jail. You know, we should gas that up. Honestly, that you did some rehab in jail. That's a good thing, actually. But you know, at the same time, it's like you got to know who you investing with, man. Like,
how do you think
this nigga learned that shit in jail?
How do you think that's gonna affect the overall image of the Breakfast Club? Like, you think the Breakfast Club is over? You think it's just gonna be they gonna revamp it to some really idiot shit like Charlamagne?
I don't think they get rid of DJ Envy. I think he was there first, wasn't he?
I think he was there first. I think he was the OG.
If they get rid of DJ Envy, there's no show. Charlamagne has so many other avenues. You really think he's going? I mean, he's already the face of the Breakfast Club, so I guess it really wouldn't matter. But he's not doing that shit alone. Maybe he would though. Maybe the check is nice.
Check might be
Maybe
nice.
He got equity in that shit.
He's gonna have a whole bunch of other shows. But like you know, like these Wall Street trapper dudes, even EYL. We just talked about Earning Leisure. They push a lot of shady characters. They end up having to delete later on. They push some guy who was teaching people. I think he was teaching people how to like repair their credit or something. Do something weird with business credit, and he eventually got caught for frauding. They was pushing Mark Cuban. Now Mark Cuban, that was like some racist stuff. That wasn't really. But they put, you know, is that really their fault? But they usually put up a lot of like grifter, charlatan kind of dudes, you know?
What did Mark Cuban say?
Was it Mark Cuban? I think it was Mark. I think he said some racist shit, bro. I don't remember.
No, you're talking about Grant Cardone.
No, Grant Cardone. Sorry, Mark Cuban. I'm talking about Grant Cardone.
I was like, not Mark Cuban.
No, Mark
Damn.
Cuban. Sorry, no, it was Grant Cardone. I don't know why I get those guys mixed up a little bit, but yeah, it was Grant Cardone. And there was another guy recently that they propped up who was also doing the same stuff. I just think it's, you know, is it people are gonna scam? Like, what do you like? What?
It's the era we live in. It's so easy for people to just be popping on social media and you see proof of concept and they flexing their wealth. I mean, and they're saying, oh yeah, I did it because I followed a 10-step system. You can have it too today.
Just pay $1,000 for my course.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, I mean, and niggas broke out here. Niggas struggling.
This is some bottom feeding leech shit, bro. Like, could you live with yourself doing that kind of stuff?
I mean, that's always been a thing, though. We already know snake oil, what do you call them? Snake oil salesman. That's been a thing forever. That's always going to be a thing. People are going to, that's capitalism, honestly. If we're not going to open it up to that conversation, but capitalism literally is, I'm going to make sure to figure out the ways to manipulate people into buying my product. I'm going to brand it as the best product, even though I'm not really the best product. I'm going to go ship my shit. And we're not going to get into that conversation. That's boring. But, you know, that's how capitalism works. You can't blame people necessarily for being able to figure out the psychology of how to convince people to invest with them or to spend money with them if they want your product. That's just what it is. Like, I would blame the consumer in that regard.
I mean, yeah, you got to be stupid because, like, you know, dudes, like, a lot of crypto people, like, I think, like, Vitalik Buterin, he's not a charlatan.
Them too, yeah.
He created Ethereum, number 2 crypto overall. It's right in the Bitcoin. It's very successful. I think he got hacked. He got hacked, and some influence got hacked, and niggas was sending them money.
Yeah, and people are very naive.
I was like, what? Like,
who the fuck is DJ Envy really, though? Like, he's just a radio personality.
I just don't think he's anybody of any real authority. I just don't see, like, you can't read some books and go out on your own. I think that's less of a risk than just giving some random nigga on the internet money.
Yeah, he said he hit up Joe Budden originally to invest with him. We normally don't give Joe Budden any credit, but he was able to see that one.
Yeah, because Joe Budden probably was just like, I can do this shit on my own. Or at best, I can find a financial advisor who probably is less of a risk than trusting DJ Envy. What kind of accolades this dude? He might have, you know, on paper, before they got in his ass and did some real research, it might have looked good, but like, what kind of accolades does this guy really have? We're gonna slob a little bit. Pause. Like, because the MetaQuest 3 is like, remember, I've been following Oculus, which Meta bought, so it's Oculus, but it's Meta. I've been following Oculus since like the Kickstarter back in like 2010, or it was like 2011, 2012, something like that. I was in like late middle school when that shit came out. I thought that shit was ass. 10 plus years. Here we are now. Niggas are walking out in public. And for those who don't know what the Meta Quest is it's a VR now mixed reality headset. And mixed reality is basically it has cameras and LiDAR sensors on the front that can map out your room. And when it's
Minority Report.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man. It's AR, augmented reality. So you see your environment around you, but you see it through the camera's eyes. And now it's able to put 3D objects in your environment. You can put screens up. You can have a whole desktop set up. It's everything the Apple one is, but it's like 100 times better because there's actually like 500 games and apps and all kinds of shit you can use. Now it's not as nice. It's not as high res, but you can connect to your computer. And, it's so good now. Dudes are walking around in public with these shits on.
You said you saw multiple people on video.
Yeah, I saw multiple people going out and doing like public experiments of it. And like,
it's beginning.
How
many years? How many years we got left before it's pretty commonplace that maybe like, I think right now it's probably like one out of like 200 people are actually walking around with that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that, honestly.
No,
at what point is it going to be like 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10?
5 to 10, I think.
5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years.
That fast?
Mm-hmm. I think when Apple gets some glasses that look stylish and they kind of have some peripheral vision on them, but they look good though. Like, I don't know if you've seen that Star Trek shit where that guy has like that fucking band. It's like this thin band he has over his eyes. So you can, I think, and they kind of make it look fly, and it's even more advanced than it is now, like 5 to 10. I think when Apple Glass comes out, that's when it's going to take over. Because it's just too.
Yeah,
it
probably
have
to be Apple, right? It probably have to be because the main criticism I've heard, the reason why most people don't want to wear VR is because like, what is it going to provide me? Like, what value do I get out of that? I already have my cell phone.
But imagine you had it replace your cell phone, where it's like you walking around with glasses. You don't have to carry a cell phone. The touch gestures are so advanced. You can have Instagram just as a screen that just follows you. So you walking around talking to people and you see your fucking Instagram feed, or you see your fucking stock charts, or you see your fucking you have a camera at your house that's like with your pets and you just can watch them the whole time. So you talking to people, you saying what's up, and then maybe you're all like, hey,
this VR shit kind of collides and intertwines with Elon Musk's little like Neuralink technology.
I think that's where they want to go with Neuralink though. I think they want it to be where when you have a chip in your brain, instead of it now where you have to wear something over your eyes, it just sends that visual information to your brain. So now it's just, if I want to do VR, I can just I can just snap 2 times and it'll just bring up the fucking screens, and then I can start moving it around and I can feel it because it's sending touch signals to from the chip to my brain. So I'm getting visual information, I'm getting physical information, so I can actually feel the screens when I'm moving them. Like, it's gonna be like that kind of thing.
I don't want to put anything in my body just so I can have my phone around and more accessible to me, hands free. Because that's really the only value that you get from VR and all that shit. Yeah. It's just hands free.
It's hands free. Your phone is gone. Like a lot. That's another thing. You would never have to carry on a phone again. It would be in the glasses, and you had everything. And people probably have their Bluetooth headphones when they want to talk to their parents, so they put the headphones on. They do a touch gesture, press the button. There's it has a keyboard now, and it's actually really good. Touch it. What's up, Mom? How you doing? She's like, hey, I want to see you. So then what happens is then the avatar comes in. So you want to talk to your mom and she has it. Her avatar just appears in front of you while you're in the middle of the street. Boom, there you go. Or let's say you walking around somewhere and you don't know where you're going. It just generates like a GPS kind of like map on the fucking road. Yeah. And you just walk to your location. So
my mind is so sick that when you said, hey, Mom, how you doing? I was like, he's not. God, I didn't register that you were talking to your mother in that example. My mind is so fucked.
Ah, shit. But
all right. Thank you for tuning in again to the Top Tier Podcast. This has been another great one. You can catch us same place, same time next week for another new episode. Peace.